Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. It is Tuesday, so let's jump into Tuesday 10. For those of you who are new here, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for subscribing to all the new subscribers. I am going to just give a little explanation about what Tuesday 10 is. So basically, I have this basket, this big basket that I have a whole bunch of papers in from random sources. They could be clippings, junk mail, book pages, magazine pages, just paper experiments that I've done. So every Tuesday, usually, I try to take 10 of them and I just keep on working until I have created ephemera from everything that I have here. So today we have this large Mother Goose book page. I just really love this illustration. I completely forget whose illustration that is. I have this back of a National Geographic and I love this little tree frog. I have this is actually like the what are those poor little quints that were so tortured by the media. Oh my goodness, these poor little babies. The quintuplets. What's their name? I forget. But anyways, this is 3 of them with their Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. But on the back, we've got some really fun ads. This is a really old newspaper. Dion quintuplets, yes. And then this is a Pyro illustration from a big book called Give Me the Moon. It has really beautiful illustrations in it, and so I want to use this one up today. This is like a Shadow Puppets book page. So it has the bird talking, a dog, this bird flying, and a snail. So it shows you how to do that. And then the instructions for Simon Says on the back. This is another book from a children's book, book page. And it was like one of those, it's a book that basically explains to you what all of these like sayings mean. So like, the world is my oyster. I feel very successful. I'm having a whale of a time. I'm really enjoying myself. And it had a really interesting illustration style to it. And I thought some of these would be kind of funny and fun, so we'll go through those. And then I have this little piece of a newspaper that's like, thank you for introducing me to this grand new face powder. It says, this prominent young member of Toronto society. And then another piece of old newspaper from 1940 with these beautiful bathing beauties in these bathing suits. This is a digital page that I printed that I haven't used yet. I think it's from Weathered Textures on Etsy. And then I have this big piece of advertising, and it's stuck to some old ledger. So this was from this scrapbook that I bought that had, it was used in the 1920s by someone as a scrapbook, so they stuck things into it, but it was originally an 1850s ledger. So you can see there's writing back there. That's all from the 1850s. This side doesn't really have anything on it, but it's just this old ledger paper. So I've been kind of cutting this up for a really long time and trying to use up bits and bobs of it. It provided a lot of lovely ephemera. So let's get started. I'm a little discombobulated this morning. I think I'm getting into the swing of like having a bit of a normal week coming up. I had a very busy past 2 weeks with my in-laws visiting, and it was also just catch-up time. Like, you know how you, like, because we had my in-laws here, they could hang out with the kiddos so that my husband and I could go and get a few things done, including some appointments that we've been neglecting. And then I've also just had a lot of work stuff going on. I've had a lot of just life stuff going on. We got a new dog, which is a calamity because he's still a puppy. He's only 5 months old, and yeah, he needs a lot of work. He's a good boy though. I don't know if I mean, I'll keep the back of it. I think like just the backing paper, like what I would use as backing paper rather. I don't need this. I have used so much of this paper, so would that fit? Maybe I can actually use that as the backing. That would be kind of nice to just, yeah, make like a large journal card with this. Move these out of the way. Okay. So yeah, it's been a busy time for sure, and I'm looking forward to having a couple of days that are just like relaxing. Although I do have an appointment this evening, that I have to go to. I have to go to my courier today to drop off packages. Thank you to everyone who has gone to my Etsy shop and taken advantage of the Etsy Black Friday sale. I don't really celebrate Black Friday. It was always more of an American thing, and being that I'm Canadian, we didn't really have so much of a concept until maybe, I don't know, maybe about 5 years ago-ish, and Black Friday kind of weaseled its way from America into Canada. Like we have a different we have a different Thanksgiving altogether. The meaning of Thanksgiving in Canada is different than that of the United States. Also, it's in October rather than November, so it's like very, very, very different. And so we don't have like the idea of having Thanksgiving and then, you know, Black Friday, and we don't do football and all that kind of stuff. But that being said, it has come here. I don't really buy from any large retailers. I don't do any of that because I feel like it's just like a big consumerist holiday kind of thing. It's very strange to me to just like spend money for the sake of getting these like strange discounts that aren't really even discounts, to be honest. It's just a annoying time where you're like, great, I get an email from every single place I've ever bought something. So I would say the exception though is small business. I will definitely patronize small businesses around this time, especially these days where like a lot of us, you know, lost a lot of income for different reasons because of this time in the world. So yeah, I'm always happy to support some small businesses, which I have done this Black Friday. I bought from a few Etsy shops. I think I bought like the only couple things that I didn't already own that I would use from Miles Beyond the Moon on Etsy, because I love her work and she's really awesome, and she helped me out with my late night or early morning binge shopping that I did the other day, because I was trying to get one of her kits, like it's a 2-part kit, and I accidentally somehow put the wrong 2 kits in my cart that I'd already bought in the past, so I just rebought them instead of putting the ones that I wanted in. So she was very kind and took some time and sent me everything by email because she's awesome, and I really appreciate that. So I think what I want to do with this piece is I just want to make it into a nice piece of stationery. So cover up the back. I mean, you could honestly, I could leave this. It just says the real Mother Goose, and that could be very cute to like write on and still have the Mother Goose. So I think I'll leave it, to be honest. It's really sweet. And I'll just give it like a business envelope style fold. And then that will be really nice to tuck into a pocket in a journal. Yeah, that's super cute. Okay, so this is done. The other one's done. It has to be stitched around though. And what else did I get for Black Friday? I got some t-shirts from Retro Ontario, who's one of my favorite Canadian small businesses. They release like clothing, mostly t-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies that are like themes of things like that are retro, like from when I grew up. So what did I get? I got my daughter a t-shirt from the show You Can't Do This on Television, which was the weirdest show, and I just I think people will laugh when they see her wearing it. So it was a show that was produced in Canada, but I think it also did go to maybe, was it Nickelodeon maybe in the United States, I think. But it was basically a show that was based inside a school, like a public school, like probably middle school in the US age, like grade 8, maybe grade 7. And it was sort of like this nightmare kind of school where everybody was kind of making bad jokes and puns, and like it just, I don't know, it was back in that age of television where things were kind of made to be outrageous, but like outrageous in the 90s was really different than outrageous now. Like I think nowadays you really have to, like, I don't know, do some pretty crazy things to be seen as outrageous. But so I'm just going to cut these girls out of this old newspaper. And, oh, that's a nice little word snippet from this old paper that I will keep. Tea party. And then what else did I get? I got, oh, so from, if you're Canadian, you will know Degrassi Junior High. So I got a Degrassi Junior High, the Zit Remedy t-shirt. So the Zit Remedy was the name of a band that was on the show Degrassi Junior High, and potentially some of my American friends might be familiar with that show as well, just because it did have years of syndication. It was very popular. Oops. And it was another like 90s show, or was it also 80s? I don't actually remember, but anyways, it is still, it's being made, actually. Not still, but again, they've actually like created new seasons of the show. I think it's actually Kevin Smith that's very involved, from like the filmmaker Kevin Smith. I think he's quite involved in the show, and I haven't watched, like, you know, the new seasons of it really, but my understanding is it's still doing what it did originally, which was to be kind of a button pusher type show, like an issue, a show that dealt with a lot of issues like that were important to society but kind of also taboo at the time, things like teen pregnancy and yeah, just different things that, like, you know, you would probably find kind of taboo, like in at that time in society, and I think they still deal with that kind of stuff now too. Yeah, a lot of complex topics on things like sexuality and gender and you know, the problems that teenagers face, drugs and relationships, all that kind of stuff. But it was a hard-hitting show for the time, and I think it probably still is. All right, so now we've got these bathing beauties here on this piece of that digital, and I'm thinking because this is like a beach, I might use this kind of cheeky, this fish, and he's not the only fish in the sea. He's not the only possibility. So he's on a fishing expedition. He's trying to get information. Okay, so I'm going to maybe... yeah, I'm gonna try to cut out the hand and the hook first, if I can. I don't know how that's gonna go over, but let's just try. So, I guess I should try to leave a little of the blue around, because I'm not going to be able to cut that out on the hook. Okay, there we go. And then I think I also got the retro Sesame Street that has the little girl who was going shopping for what was it, a pint of milk, something, a loaf of bread, I think, and a stick of butter. So she kept repeating it, and it became very iconic, like a pint of milk, a loaf of bread, and a stick of butter. A pint of milk, a loaf of bread, and a stick of butter. And it was this cute little girl, and she was going to the store for her mom to get that. And so it's like a part of, you know, your learning as a kid. I think it was from 70s Sesame Street. And then I got my son the teeny tiny Super Guy shirt. And that was another like Sesame Street retro kind of thing. I could fold that to make it a little shorter and have the hook between them. I can fit the hand and the rod. Yes, right there. Okay. So see what I did there? I just shortened this. That's how you just do like little manipulations to your paper to just make it work for you. Let me just stick that down for just 2 seconds. And then when you purchased a certain amount from Retro Ontario, you got a free, or sorry, Retro Kid, not Retro Ontario, Retro Kid. If I've been saying Retro Ontario this whole time, I apologize. It's Retro Kid, but it is an Ontario-based company. So anyways, yeah, if you purchased, I think, like 3 shirts or something, 4 shirts, you got one for free. So I got the Retro Kid shirt for free for my husband, because we're big Retro Kid fans. I have a lot of their stuff. I just got the polka dot door and read along t-shirts a little while ago from the VIP launch. I have they did a Laurentian pencil crayon sweatshirt, and I have that because so if you're Canadian, you will remember from your childhood, if you were around in probably the 70s through the 90s, anyways, early 2000s, Laurentian pencil crayons were like a big deal. They were the good pencil crayons. Like they actually are very good pencil crayons. So anyways, yeah, you'll remember that. And it has their lovely logo on the front of like the Laurentian like river, I think, and this little forest, and it's a cool shirt. And then I got a polka dot door shirt from them as well. Yeah, I just said that and the read along. I've had some other ones in the past. I'm trying to remember what all I've gotten from them. Oh, like Mr. Dress Up, if you know Mr. Dress Up. So yeah, lots of Canadianism kind of stuff, and it's so much fun. I find whenever I wear those shirts, whoopsies, I get so many comments. People, I love your shirt, I love your shirt. So I went to Starbucks yesterday the day before yesterday, to get coffee, and there was a lovely barista working there, and he's like, oh my god, you're wearing a read along shirt. And I said, yeah. And so he was like, I love read along, like nobody knows about it. But I said, you know what, you are someone special. So we had a moment. It was great. Just gonna trim the bottom off here. And then up here, I'm going to make this a tag. And I'll probably back it because this paper is, I mean, it's heavier weight cardstock. Well, like not heavyweight, lighter weight cardstock, but I think I want to put something on the back that will make it a little stronger. Ever so slightly too short. Can I trim this more and just, no, I don't want it to be too close to this. Okay. And what I have here is that maybe I should use the front of that. I would say that would be cute on the back. It's this watercolor paper. Yeah, let's do that. My daughter and I were doing some watercolor because she is finishing up, we're learning about Southern Asia this week. And so we studied the Songkran Festival, which is a festival, the water festival in Indonesia, and it's all about kind of like, it's almost like it's like a New Year festival that happens in April, and it's like a water festival, and like you know everyone sprays each other with water, and it's kind of about like, you know, cleansing, starting anew, washing away all the bad kind of spirits and bad feelings of the past, and it's a really nice message. And so we did watercolor paintings where you take white crayon and you draw something that reminds you of water. So things like, you know, this is like kid water. I did this, I was just showing her what to do. And then like raindrops and stuff, and then you use colors that are watery to you, like blues and what have you, and you go over the white crayon, and it leaves the impression, like, because wax obviously pushes away the water. And let me show it to you, hold on. Okay, so then later after that, I had to ask her 5 questions that she had to answer, and we're still working on this. She's trying to trace all these letters. So I wrote this for her, but she's trying to trace over them. So I asked her 5 questions and she answered them, and from that answer you create a Songkran poem. So this is her painting. You can see the lines in the background. This is like her water droplets up here, and so her answers created this poem. Blue or dark blue, fresh, cold as ocean breeze, or hot like a hot tub, sounds like a bath, or soft like a nice rainy day when the sun peeks out, smells like rainwater, soft cold water cools you down. So that is her Songkran art. So we're going to keep working on that, and it was fun. It was a nice little thing to do with her. So I think what I want to do is see what ads I can you know, keep out of this. So I think I will definitely go for the Radiantly Beautiful Hair Packers Olive Oil Shampoo. So we will save that. I'll just cut right down here like this. Yeah, it was nice studying Southeast Asia last week because her grandmother is Filipino, so she got to do some making pancit with her grandmother. We read this lovely book called Cora Makes Pancit, or Cora Cooks Pancit, and it's like basically the story of a little girl cooking pancit with her Lola, who is her grandmother, and they're Filipino, and so it was a very close to our family kind of moment. It was nice. All right, so we have a pertussin ad, so I think I'll keep that one too. These ones have been cut in half, but let me see if I can keep. We'll keep this little snip here. This is like about drug safety, essentially. And then alabastine. No hot water is needed when mixing alabastine. Have beautifully tinted walls with just one coat. Goes on easily, smoothly, quickly, no brush marks. Many shades, beautiful color effects and stencil designs. Probably highly toxic, who knows? Let's try to keep this. Cut the words off the bottom because it's cut off. There we go. And then I think that's all I'm going to keep on there. And then I see this blackheads. Don't squeeze blackheads. Dissolve them. Get 2 ounces of peroxine powder from any drugstore and rub with wet hot cloth briskly over the blackheads. They simply dissolve and disappear by this safe and sure method. Corn pain and what a wart. Oh my god. I think I will keep this whole crazy fish oil type ad. Alright. Okay, so what do we want to do with these? Do we want to just maybe like back them and have these as like little tuck-in type ads? These could go in my snippets bin, or I could actually make something with them. I'm just going to set them aside for a few minutes to just think about them now that they're cut out. What else do we have here? We have, this is the larger ad for the face powder. That one I think would be a nice journal card size. So we'll back that onto some of this paper here. Yeah, I have to go to the library today. I have to go to the pharmacy. I have all these little tasks I have to do. I'll probably start that soon so I can just maybe have a little bit of a chill afternoon. Might take a nice walk. I think it's nice outside. I know the dog needs a walk, definitely. He's probably like, when am I going walking? We had a bit of a routine happening, but it's not really a routine that works for every day. Definitely not for the weekend when you just don't want to go outside and walk the dog first thing in the morning. So he's been doing his zoomies in the backyard. He was running around like a crazy dog. last night after his walk. He had a long walk, then came home and went bananas in the backyard doing his like run around. He like runs around my whole backyard, and he jumps over my 2 garden beds, like my raised gardens. Oh my goodness, he's crazy. So he has a lot of energy, this guy. Let's use our froggy friend here. So cute. That is so cute. I just want to make that a journal card. I was thinking I could also like cut it like this maybe though, and it could be a pocket like you with a free-form shape. That would be very cute too. I think what I'll do is I'll back it and I'll leave it as is, because that will give me an option to do either later. So this piece of paper scrap is my scraps from cutting out the ephemera freebie, the stuff from Louisa Heinzel and 49 Dragonflies Barbara. This year for 2022 they're doing ephemera again, and I'm definitely taking part. I cannot wait. I had so much fun doing it last year. I also think that that is how many of you found me, which is great. I definitely am a fan of both Barbara and Louisa. Be a lot of fun to have that. What I liked the most about ephemera is it seemed to really bring the whole journal community like together. Whether you were taking part or not, I think a lot of people also just really enjoyed watching those daily videos. And I know like the first day I saw it was actually the first day they started it, probably like December 1st or something. And I remember watching just the first video that either Louisa or Barbara posted, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I like did it the same day, and I actually kept up, and I got my video the exact same day as they did every day. And it was a hustle, because it's like any daily is a hustle, but also doing it as a video. I was like, whew, can I do this? And I did, and it was really good. I'm glad I took part, and I want to do it again because I just really enjoyed myself. Okay, so I like this pyro. I'm going to, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep this in my scraps maybe? Yeah, I will. I'll use that for something. And then I'm thinking, could I make like a booklet with him? A tall booklet type piece of ephemera. Let's do this, and then cut this off. Is this long enough to just want to see if this is long enough to make like a bit of a belt style closure. It is. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that would be cute. So let's just start by adding a little bit of art glitter glue here. I should be using my glue book. There we go. So that'll be like a little belt closure. There. Now we need to open this up. Okay. Just give this a bit of glue. Go. There it is. Looking for one of these paper bags. Get this stuff out of my way here. Woo. glue that on there. I'm going to stitch this as well. I'm just going to go a little messy around the edge for now. I'll come back and I'll make it neater in a minute. Okay. Okay, so this is all I want to do right now with this, is I just have this. What I'm going to do after is I'll stitch around the edge neatly. I'll do a nice bone fold, and then this will be like a belt to go around the booklet, so there'll be writing space on the inside. Now I think I want to put something here, like to just make this like a little more interesting. Maybe a piece of book spine. Like this. And a word snippet. Let's see what I have here that will go with this. Oh, too many things on my desk. Okay. Maybe when spring comes, or maybe wonderful. By the wind and the rain. Yeah, let's use that. By the wind and the rain. Going to put all these snippets back in the box over here. Go back from whence you came. There we go. So I had fun yesterday. I went out with my daughter on her new, like, my dad made this kind of bike thing for them, for the kids. It's like a little sort of sitting tricycle kind of, I don't know even what to call it. It's like a crossover bike car kind of thing. That, you know, some pedaling thing kids enjoy. And oh my goodness, she had so much fun. I was exhausted by the time we were done because she just wanted to keep going and keep going. I was like, please, can we go home? So finally she took mercy on me and we went home. Kids have so much energy, I swear. Okay, so let's set these aside to stitching time. And all right, we still have these ads that I need to think about here. But I'm going to move along. I want to make, I'm not so interested in these two bottom pieces, but I do like the bird ones. So I think I will make journal cards with them or something like that. Let's just get rid of this. First I'll check here though, is there any, no, there's nothing that I really want on there. I totally tore that really crooked. Let's just fix that again here. There. Now, make this into a pocket. I think it's a cute shape for a pocket. All right. So I'll put a little something on this to make it interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. My house is strangely quiet for having 2 small kids and 2 dogs right now. Although I know Toasty's in here somewhere sleeping, probably on the couch in the studio here. Because the dogs are still negotiating the presents with one another. Toasty is clearly the queen, and Rex is trying to understand that still at this time. They're a little bit of opposites at the moment, because Toasty is just like trying to insert his authority a little bit, his dominance. And Rex just wants to play, and Toasty's like, I'm not listening, and you need to stop. So it's getting a little funny and a little crazy at times. So we're giving Toasty a break from Rex from time to time so he can just have his time, his quiet time. But I do think they're making strides. Day one was a little difficult because, yeah, Toasty has always been the kind of dog that's just not ready to accept another dog immediately. When I got one of my other dogs that was a rescue, he was a very timid dog because he'd come from an Amish puppy mill, unfortunately. That's why you should never buy dogs from the Amish, or many places, but that's another topic. And so, you know, those dogs are treated very poorly. I will not get into detail because it's quite hard to listen to. So he was very, very scared, and he became my little baby, like my soul animal, I think. And he was the kindest, most gentle dog, and I think that's the only dog that I've ever had that Toasty just outright had no problem with. There was this strange thing that happened when Piggy joined our family, that all of my other, at the time I had 3 other dogs, and they just sort of unanimously gave him the complete leeway to just be who he wants to be, do what he wants to do, with no threat of dominance from any of them. They were all just like kind to him. And it was weird because I had at the time 2 other male chihuahuas, and Piggy was a male chihuahua, and I had kind of the matriarch of the family, Lulu. She's a miniature dachshund, and this is years ago, but yeah, they all just accepted him. No one fought with him, no one pushed him around, because I don't know if dogs are kind of sentient enough to understand that sometimes dog personalities are because of their experiences. And Piggy thankfully lived a wonderful life with us. He had a heart murmur, so he didn't live as long as I had hoped, but he was the center of my universe pretty much the whole time. And I don't say that lightly. He was definitely the dog I've most connected to in my whole life. And I love dogs, so yeah. Okay, what do we have left? So let's go through this and see what we would keep from it. Oh, I cut that way off. Too bad. Oh well. The world is my oyster. Nah, he's sponging off me. He's living off my money. Come out of your shell. Stop being so shy. I don't think anything over here. If you swim with the sharks, you'll get bitten. I have other fish to fry. I have better things to do. Cold fish, unemotional person. It's a red herring. You look green around the gills. I honestly think I'm not going to keep really much of this. All I want to keep, I think, is just I have other fish to fry as a little word snippet that I see myself using on something. I think that would be funny. But the rest of this I don't really like. I'm not really into the illustrations. I don't see anything that's all that appealing. I loved the whale, but I cut him up because I used that other piece of paper. So that's okay. That can go. So that leaves us with this and the ads. So I might just take a moment. I'm going to grab a couple other things to make this all make sense. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. So I just wanted to grab some things that I could sort of use here to make this interesting, these ads and that extra paper. So what I'm thinking I want to do is make this feel very much like a bit of a vintagey collage, and this one's going to be just a collage kind of journal card. So what this is it's the backing of a cabinet card that I used for a project, and it was like doubly thick with this. So this is, you know, quite thick. So I cut it in half so that I could use it in a journal and it not be too wide. So I'm going to take this alabastine ad, and then I also got some vintage ledger, or not vintage ledger, ledger paper that I want to just kind of use a bit of also here. And what I will do with it is just give it a coffee spray. Oh, my coffee bottle is it clogged? There it goes. Okay, a little coffee. And then I will just kind of go with my ink on it a little bit as well. Just to kind of grunge it up. Okay. And I will hit it with a heat gun real quick to just dry. Perfect. Now, I'm going to give it a bit of a scrunch and an unscrunch. Okay. This here, and then this maybe here, and just looking to see if there's anything, hold on, in my word snip, or not word snippets, but my snippet stuff, my kind of weird stuff I keep around here, that would fit this. Just fussy cut things. Maybe this Hotel Mork. This could be good. Tell a little story here. So let's kind of start gluing things down. Sort of make this feel like it was rummaged, collected, scrounged, and found, you know. Let's give that paper a crinkle underneath there. Maybe a little more crinkle here. It's the nice thing about wet glue, glue stick glue, is you can kind of smoosh things around and do what you want to do. Then we'll take this little label here, overlap it, just going to see if I have anything else that I want to add on here. Maybe this tarnished label. This is from my Journal Together kit on my Patreon from last month. I have another one coming on December the 1st that is finished. I'm very excited about it. Can't wait. So if you're interested, I do have a Patreon. If you're interested in digitals, that's a really good place to kind of go to get digitals from me. I do a lot of small digital collections that I only put on Patreon. I don't always put them on Etsy. I do a lot of concept art and a lot of that kind of thing. So I also do a monthly, what I call my Journal Together collection, and it is an eclectic collection of different kinds of ephemera, concept art that I've designed, and things that I scan, because I have a very large collection of antique things and vintage things and interesting things. So I try to keep it interesting, and I have a lot of ideas for the new year as well, and how I'm going to be doing a lot more on that channel. I also do videos only for that that platform for Patreon. Okay, then do I want to cut the edges at all? No, I'll leave that one square. Yeah, so it's fun, and you can find the link down below to my Patreon. I do have a lot of fun with it. I find it very enjoyable to have a nice little like spot to just hang out with people on Patreon. Okay, so I think what I want to do with these, I want to use them sort of together in this kind of a collagey way, and then this will be like a piece of, you know, stationery. Again, I really enjoy making that kind of thing. So with this, what do I want to do? Do I want to, I've got some nice coffee paper and some music that I think I'll use in the background of that. So just a bit of music. This is Canada. Okay, and then we'll grunge this up a little as well. Give it a crinkle. Helps it to just kind of crinkle easier when you use it, to just kind of pre-crinkle it. Crinkling paper like this also, just so you know, so this piece of paper, you see this cool texture it has, this coffee dyed paper? It's because it's been crinkled before it's been coffee dyed, and then you end up with a very different kind of effect on your paper. So, all right, so what I want to do with this is I'm going to glue these down first this time. Here's my daughter upstairs, like on the trampoline, being the wild child that she is. Trampoline was a hit, of course. They had one before. It just got very old though, and it got trampolined out, bounced out. Just got a little worn. It was a used one that I actually picked up at an estate auction. I have another, like a fitness. Oops. My alarm. I have a fitness trampoline, but it's somewhere buried in the garage. So I bought them a new one. Actually for my son, for his birthday. But my daughter definitely uses it. They share everything. So. And I want a piece of this paper as well. Here, crinkle it this way because I don't want to lose that fun Blackheads ad. It's so funny. Yeah, so my idea for this is it looks kind of like, you know, almost like something you would find on like a 1940s countertop or on a table. It's just like a random moment in time that you would see this kind of, all this stuff would be thrown down on a counter or, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I like the crinkly paper with the old ads and the old paper. And then I think what I'll do with it is, do I have, I do have another piece of paper. Yeah, I might just put another piece of paper on the back of it to just give it a little bit more thickness. And I'm going to leave this grungy edge here. I usually remove those, but it's not super caked in glue, so it's not really, really thick, but it gives a really nice kind of an effect on the back. Okay. So let's flip this over, this down, just to give it a little more girth. And that would be something that I'd keep straight, and I'll clip it with like a rusty paper clip. And then I'll just ink up this little bit of yellow because there, that needs a little grunge. Okay, so now it's stitching time. So I will go, oh wait, no it's not, I lied, hold on. Nope, nope, we can't leave yet. Hold on. We have this. And I want to use it. Okay, so I found this thing. Let me grab this. Here it is. It's this children's book illustration. Then I'll see if I have something else, because I could probably make a couple of things with that. Oh, that's cute too. Maybe that. All sorts of cute children's things in here. And then these, which I really should cut out so they're not so overwhelming in here. Oh, that can be quite pretty as well. What's this? Looking for something a little bit bigger maybe to do on the other side, but I may not have anything cut out. That's really nice, actually. Would that fit there? Yeah, we can do this. Okay. Okay, let's glue these down. I'm hoping the weather is nice today because I just want to get outside and do some stuff with the kids and the dogs. But I also don't want to drive super far. So well, I guess I could. So we are, we've been waiting for, I would say 3 months since like our car was rear-ended because people, I live somewhere that, oh my gosh, people are just exquisite drivers, and I say that with all the sarcasm. And so we've been rear-ended like 4 times. It's crazy. 3 of those 4 times we were at a complete stop. So, oh my lord. And the other time, I don't know, it was like a guy who fell asleep while driving. It was pretty scary. Yeah. So anyways, we have our car being finally repaired because you know how, I don't know if you know, but my advice to you, to everyone, this winter, if you live somewhere cold, please drive safely. I mean, just because I love you and don't want you to get hurt, but also because it will take potentially a very long time for you to get your car fixed. You know, there's this global shortage of things, right? So car parts are one of those things, and it's actually quite bad. We've waited several months for the repair of the back of our car because it needs a whole new like bumper and back kind of structure that goes onto the hatch of our SUV. And then we had a second issue with a rock falling from a moving truck and going under our car and damaging the intermediate pipe on the exhaust system. So the garage, they advised the insurance company that we need a whole new like exhaust system, even though that's not true. We really only need an intermediate pipe. My dad's a mechanic and he confirmed that, but you know how these things work, right? These insurance companies and these garages that will probably just end up selling my catalytic converter for a profit. I don't know. Anyhow, so we waited about a month and a half for that, and then we were so shocked because we actually got a phone call the day before yesterday from the garage that they were ready to do both repairs after waiting all that time. So it was crazy, but it's finally getting done. So our car is in the shop now for a little over a week, and we have a really weird rental car, a Jeep, which I am not a fan of Jeeps at all. I think they're a very bizarre car. I think there are Jeep people, and I'm just not one of them. It's just, you know, it's a thing, and I'm not one of them, but it's nice. It's fine. It's doing the job. It's enormous, and it's almost impossible for me to climb into because it's so tall. So now I'm just trying to decide, what do I want to stitch around? So I think this, but not this, I think. Although that would actually maybe be cute stitched around. let's, no, let's not. I don't want to. Okay, so this. That, not this. I like that on its own, just as a little pocket. This obviously needs to get stitched around so I can finish, putting it together. That I won't stitch around. This I think is fine on its own. This, yes. This is fine. This, yes. Okay, let me go do all my stitching and I will come back and we'll finish constructing this and we will be done. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done a bunch of stitching and a bit of inking, but let's first just finish the construction of this. So I just stitched all the way around it to stitch that stationery, that packaging paper to the back. So let's trim it up here. And we'll give it a fold here. Let's take my bone folder just to kind of make that fold nice and flat. There we are. So now we have this booklet, and then we're going to slip it on in here. So it has this, whoops, that's upside down. I'm awake this morning. Okay, so yeah, we slip it on in here. So now it has by the wind and rain as a little belt to hold it closed. So if you wanted to like stuff things in there, you could. Yeah, so that's that. Now let's look at what else we created. So there's the tag. I added some of this fun crocheted lace up top, and I inked the hand and the fish and stuff, so he's not the only fish in the sea. So I like that with these ladies from this 1940s newspaper. And then this one, I got a little crazy with it. So first of all, it's very thick to stitch through. So I'd started stitching and my thread broke. And I was like, oh darn. And then I was like, I'm going to keep stitching around and doing the holes, because it makes it more kind of gritty. And so I kept the holes there. This is another way to actually perforate paper that's really nice for making tickets and stamps and things, just so you know. Just like a sewing machine with no thread in it. And you'll get these nice like dots, So then I went back and I collected all the threads that I had, the gray and this sort of light pink that are in my machine right now, and I just kind of piled them on top and then stitched over them a little bit so that they're there. And I just think it's more like with this tarnished label and these old ads, it just gives it more of the effect I was looking for. And then we stitched around this fun big journal card. This is like, a really old piece of paper from the 1920s, and it's just beautiful. And these two, so they are both going to be pockets or tuck spots, so they're backed with book page. So they are the two little shadow puppets. And then from that piece of paper, I made three things I think. So this was one, so I stitched around it and inked it. This is like a belly band with this adorable illustration. And then of course we had this that I turned into just a simple piece of stationery. And then this little journal card from this old ad. And then our froggy here, it just left him as is. There's the other one of that little pocket. That's a Kate Greenaway illustration. And then this fun piece of stationery that I just think is like really great for a vintage style kind of journal, or like a ladies kind of journal, like if you were trying to do one of those kind of classic ladies journals. So how many did we make? We made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces from our Tuesday 10 today. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend. We will talk again soon, or I guess it's the weekend's past, right? The weekend is far away. I'm just living in full-on weekend mode. I need weekends all the time. So anyways, have a good week. And I will talk to you again very soon. I hope you're well and you're enjoying some nice kind of pre-holiday weather. Are you starting to get a little bit holidays? I'm actually, even though I said I don't make Christmas journals, like it's spreading like a weird virus. I'm just like watching everyone's holiday journals and I'm getting this like itch, but I'm trying not to do it because, well, I kind of want to, and I've actually got a few supplies. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to end up making a holiday journal, but I don't think it'll be this year because it will probably be too late by the time I'm done working on what I'm working on. So anyways, blah bitty blah. I will talk to you later, and we'll have a good day. Bye.